All right, class, we're going to show you how to use Padre to write some Perl programs. And we're going to create a template that we can use to start all of our Perl programs in the future. I've actually got it right here, template.pl. I'm going to right click on that, open that up with Padre. Looks like I'm going to have to choose an app for that. There it is, Padre. And here's Padre. Now, the text size is a little small. You can change that with Control+. I'll do it. So you can see this a little bit better. And I want to talk about this very first line, very important line. This is called the shebang line. It starts with a sharp and a bang, bang being another word for an exclamation mark. So sharp and bang, shebang line. And it's a path to the Perl interpreter, perl.exe, on my system. You have to have that on the start of all of your Perl programs. Okay, that's a requirement. Your program won't work if it can't find the Perl interpreter. So you got to do that on all of your, at the start of all your programs. Now you also want to use strict and use warnings when you start your programs. Notice the semicolons at the end of those. And the reason for these two statements, use strict will help you with your variables. If you misspell a variable name, use strict will catch it. We'll demonstrate that in a moment. And by using the warnings, we get this syntax check window down at the bottom here that we can use so that we can see if our code has got any problems before we run it. And you can get this window, by the way, the syntax check window, by clicking on Window, go to Syntax Check Window, and that'll pop up here. As you can see right now, I don't have any errors in my code. I'm going to try to create a variable. So I'm going to go with $lang. That's what we call a scalar variable. And I'm going to store Perl in that. It's a string. And you'll notice that I've got a problem right away. Right away I've got a problem. And actually if I put my cursor on that line, it tells me what the problem is. And it's the same thing that's shown up down here in the syntax check window. $lang requires an explicit package name. Well, that is called because I've got use strict. If I want to make that go away, I can type my in front of it, save this, and now I have no more problems. You can see it. I've got green down here, no red errors. This is okay. What I've done by putting my in front of the declaration of the variable $lang is I'm adhering to the guidelines of using strict. I'm making sure that I declare my variable names. And that'll help if I say try to print out that variable name. I could try print. And I could make a string here. I'll go with I like $lang. And I'll put a \n at the end of that string so that that will cause a carriage return at the end. Now, notice that I don't have any errors. I've used double quotes in the string. You can use single quotes up here as well. But if you use double quotes, a very special thing can happen if you put the variable name inside the quotes. Instead of printing $lang will be interpolated, meaning that Perl will be replacing $lang. We'll get the value of the variable rather than printing the name of the variable by using double quotes. So if I give this a run, let's see what happens here. I don't have any error messages, so I'm going to hit this arrow up here, and that should run the code. And there it is, I like Perl. And the way we got the press any key to continue to come out in the next line, that's what the \n did for us. If I forget that \n and run this again, let me just kill this window and run that program again. You can see what happens. The press any key to continue comes up right after the code that you want to print. It doesn't look so good. So remember to put a \n in at the end of your lines. Now, let me show you the advantage of using strict. What if I misspelled this? If I misspell that, look at the error message. It says $lag requires an explicit package name. It means that I haven't declared $lag with the my prefix. Well, actually, now that I look at my code, I can see, well, I've misspelled $lang, and this catches it. As soon as I correct the spelling and save it, the error message goes away. So by using strict and using warnings, it actually helps you with your code by forcing you to use proper variable names throughout. You can't just suddenly create a variable name on the fly without declaring it with the my keyword, and that follows the use strict guidelines. Now, we want this to be saved as a template. All of our programs are going to start with these lines here. We don't really need these lines. That was just a demonstration. So we'll get rid of those, resave this, and I've got it saved in this folder here called My Perl on my desktop. So anytime I want to start a program, I'll just open up that folder and open up template.pl and take it from there to write a new program. And of course I have to save it with a new name or I'll overwrite .pl.